Hi, I'm Mike Bellevue, and today we're back down in the studio. And I just wanted to give you a little channel update. It's been a while since I did that, and I do have some news to report. But first of all, let me say that this video is not being monetized, which means there should be no commercials on it at all, no ads. So if you're seeing any ads, let me know, because I would consider that a foul by YouTube, and I'd like to know if it's happening. But hopefully you're seeing this ad-free. So let me start with the big news for me anyway. The channel has hit 100,000 subscribers. And that happened probably 3 weeks before you're going to see this, just as things go. So Mary Pat and I broke out the champagne. I had salted it aside just for this, had a toast, and got on with our lives. And I know a lot of you think I've been obsessed with this 100,000 subscriber thing, and for no good reason, right? I mean, the satisfaction comes from having a good channel and knowing that you all enjoy the videos, and that's all true, and I have to say that is my highest level of satisfaction. But I'm kind of goal-oriented, and when I started this thing 12 years ago, at first, I wondered if it would go anywhere at all. Really, you just do. And then I got going. And at that point, I set that 100,000 subscriber goal just as something for me to work towards, because I work better when I've got something to work towards. And now we've hit it. And I can't say that my life feels any different, but I'm glad that we did. And the only way that could have happened is from all of you out there actually hitting that subscribe button and, hopefully watching the videos and enjoying them. And that's the most important thing. So I feel just great that you guys have put this over the 100,000 mark and put us into the top 2% of YouTube content creators. So, thank you all for being loyal viewers. I know some of you have been with me since day one. In fact, I've met a guy this summer who told me he was my first ever subscriber. Kind of amazing. And he's still there. So, thank you very much. And we hit 100,000. And if I live another 12 years, maybe we'll hit 200,000. I don't know. So, anyway, that was some good news. All right, so now for the bad news. Some of you realize, because I put out another video on this, that YouTube has been messing around with me a bit. And I'm not sure if this is YouTube's fault or if it's the fault of somebody who's just got a little vendetta against me. But I've had a channel strike. I've had 2 videos taken down. Hopefully I'll ride that out and clear the strike in 90 days, less than that now. And everything will be fine. But they keep trying. And recently I had 2 more videos demonetized. They weren't taken down. I didn't get another strike, but they did demonetize them. And it's very frustrating to have that happen. One of them was on loading black powder 38 long Colt cartridges for use in original 38 long Colt handguns. Okay. Yeah, nothing too evil there. But the second one was even more frustrating because it was on making linen cartridges for the 1859 Sharps rifle. And I just think YouTube doesn't get it. And I talked to a YouTube representative who told me, just between he and I, that he totally agreed with me, but that he could not pass me along to the folks who handled the community standards strikes, because they're an internal organization and they're not allowed to send anybody to them. Nobody's allowed to talk to them. And if he did, he could lose his job, which he was not interested in doing, and I would not want that to happen to him. But he did tell me that he completely agreed with me, that it's ridiculous for me to get strikes when he didn't see anything I did that violated community standards either. So anyway, it's just very frustrating. So therefore, I started a Rumble channel. It's on rumble.com, and it's called Duelist Den. And all of my YouTube videos are getting backed up there, and anything that YouTube won't allow, I'm just putting right on Rumble. So I'm going to put the links down below. It's going to appear on the screen here as well. And I just appreciate it if all of you would go out there and subscribe, because if I suddenly disappear from here, at least my stuff will still be out there. So that's what's going on with YouTube. The other thing they're kind of jerking me around about is, of course, I hit 100,000 subscribers, as I just said. And that comes with some perks at YouTube. I mean, one of them is they send you this silver play button plaque, which is pretty neat, but it's just a plaque. I can live without that. But the other perk is you actually get a human being as a management representative within YouTube. And that is huge, because actually getting somebody to talk to inside of YouTube is almost impossible for a content creator. So I was really looking forward to that, because I wanted to talk to him about, why am I getting this stuff demonetized when it's all historical stuff, and what can I do about that? However, YouTube has decided not to offer me the 100,000 subscriber perk package because I've got a channel strike and because I was suspended for a week, for making paper cartridges for an 1859 Sharps. That's what I got a week suspension for, folks. Not for making atomic bombs, not for being a sexual predator, for making ammunition for a Civil War single-shot rifle. Okay? So, go figure, right? So, YouTube has told me that in 365 days, they will reevaluate whether I'm the kind of person they really want to have in their 100,000 subscriber club or not. And they'll let me know their decision then. So that's a little bit frustrating, but what are you going to do? As many of you will remember, a couple of months ago, I launched my new and improved MikeBellevue.com website after the last one had been stolen from me, basically through the actions of some Ukrainian scammers. And that website is really great. It is much better than the last one. I'm very happy with it. And to launch it, I had a merch contest. And as you may recall, that merch contest had you going out to the blog section on the website and visiting the blog post, Kent Makes a Career Choice, and answering the question, who does the artificial intelligence telephone solicitor remind Aunt Sally of? Right? And the answer, of course, was her nephew, Kent. And many of you responded to that, and about 150 of you got the correct answer. And so out of those 150 plus, I selected 3 winners at random. Now, I was going to report out on this about a month ago, except when I emailed the 3 winners, nobody answered me. So, of course, I waited a week, and then I selected 3 more winners, out of which 1 person answered me. I waited another week, make sure nobody else was going to, launched it again, got another winner, and then finally got the 3rd winner. So this took almost 2 months to get through all of this. But now we've got our 3 winners. And they are... Steve Lovelace, Stephen Reif, and Jamie Beam. So to the 3 of you, congratulations. Some of you already have your t-shirts. Some of you, it's coming, it'll be there soon. Because this whole process took so long, that the first person on the list, who's Stephen Lovelace, I think has had his shirt for a little while, and Jamie Beam may just be getting it as I'm speaking now. So hope you enjoy them. And Steve, I know yours didn't fit. Tell me once again, and Steve, I hope you're watching this, Steve Lovelace. I'll back this up with an email. Tell me what size you think you need based on the way the one you got fit, and I'll buy you another one because I want you to enjoy it. So drop me an email and let me know, and we'll get another one out to you. Okay, so congratulations to the winners, and thanks to everybody who participated in the contest. I really enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed reading your answers. I hope you all enjoyed that blog post. I don't write comedy that often, but I was just moved to do that one, and I think it's pretty good. So it seems like the rest of you liked it as well. I appreciate that. But there's a lot of good stuff out there on MikeBellevue.com. I will be updating content later this fall and in the winter when the weather gets bad. There's a lot of good content out there right now. There's probably 50 magazine articles and blog posts and a lot of photographic galleries, plus all the videos are out there. And they're arranged in playlists so you can hit your interest and see them. So I plan this winter to put up quite a few more magazine articles, and I've got a couple of other blog posts planned. So by all means, keep dropping into MikeBellevue.com. And if you like black powder, particularly muzzleloading content, you'll find plenty of it there. So what is coming up next in the videos? Well, probably the next one that you're going to see is going to be one on the double action Star Revolver. You may recall a couple of months ago, I did one on Star Revolvers, and I had the double action and the single action. And this double action, as per usual, totally wet the bed. I mean, it would not set off caps most of the time. It was awful. And it's been that way since I got it. It's been basically a photo prop gun and not a shooting gun. But after that video, I decided I really wanted this thing to be a shooter. So I sent it off to Dave Stavlow at Lodgewood Manufacturing. And I said, Dave, can you get this thing working? Because it was jamming, every shot just awful. So David went through it, and he has cured the jamming issues pretty much. So as you see, it runs. Now, he really didn't test it for firing, and it was not setting off caps. But it was jamming so much, I wasn't sure what the cause was. So when I got it back from David's, it still wasn't setting off caps. But I was able to take a much closer look at it. And what I determined is that the nipples were really too wide. And the caps were not seating all the way down so that the end of the nipple was on the back of the cap where the fulminate is. And it just wasn't driving it down on there. So what I've done is I replaced the standard Pieta nipples on this with some slick shot nipples. And just in, cap tests, seems to be setting everything off. So next week I'll be at the range, and hopefully you'll see this Star in honest to God action. And I really hope it works out. I'm looking forward to it. I know a lot of you want to see it. So, Star, next thing we got going. After the Star, I'm planning on doing a video on chewed balls in smoothbores. And I know I've already done one of those. And the test I did on that showed that they really didn't help at all. But I've been taken to task that I just didn't do it right. That I didn't use an aggressive enough chew. So this time, I've gone over the balls with Farrier rasps and regular wood rasps, and you can see how aggressive I'm getting, and I'm going to test all three types and see if we get any accuracy improvements out of a lightly rasped ball or out of a heavily rasped ball. So all that's going to be coming up after the Star. Now, hopefully this year, I'm going to get also to the Smith Carbine. And I just ordered one of these, and I got probably the last one that was available anywhere in the United States until the next containers come in to the importers in 2023. So I was lucky to score one of these. Once again, I'm going to send it off to Lodgewood Manufacturing and have them do their trick. They have a complete package. They do on the Smith, do a trigger job, action job, higher front sight, and they redo the wood to look more like the original wood looked. So I'm hoping to master the Smith Carbine. And I know that's kind of an ambitious project since I'm still working on the Sharps and I'm still working on the Whitworth, but I'm going to see what I can do. Now, of course, I like swords as well. I mean, I spend most of my time traveling time, you might say, in the 18th and 19th centuries. But I like to go back to the 12th and 13th century as well. I'm a real sucker for medieval stuff. I'm trying not to do much sword stuff because I know you guys mostly prefer the firearms stuff. But every now and then I've got to indulge myself, and there are people who ask for the sword content. So, I try to come up with a kind of different ideas for the sword stuff because the swords itself as a review, I know, do not largely interest you. So, the video that I felt like making is, what if you found Mr. Peabody's Wayback Machine and you could become a time traveler, what I call a temporal tourist in the Middle Ages? So you could see a lot of the Middle Ages. You're not just going to go back to one specific point. So you want to spend your medieval vacation bopping around. Maybe you want to go to all of the big trade fairs, like the one in Champagne in France, at Troyes fair, and move around to those. Or maybe you want to go on pilgrimage. And you want to do some of the pilgrimages like Canterbury or Rome or Compostela. So what kind of sword would be best to carry for that? And I'm going to have a complete discussion on that of what, first of all, what would your persona likely be? So because you don't want to stand out too much, obviously. So you don't want to be, the Duke of Providence, Rhode Island. You fellows never heard of Providence? Well, it's kind of far away. That's why I'm here in Philadelphia. No, that's not going to work. You want to kind of fit in, be able to have an ale with the boys, but not have them remark too much, right? So I'm going to talk about kit. How you would make yourself just be the normal guy on the road. And what sort of sword would you carry for self-defense? Because it was a dangerous time then. So the answer is going to be one of these. Now, for those of you who care, this would be an Oakshot Type 14 sword. And this would be highly effective against highwaymen and, even against armored opponents if it came down to that, because this was developed to counteract chain armor, mail armor. But I'm going to talk about this choice and some other choices that you might be able to make and what your general kit would be to get around. And this is kind of a mental exercise, and we all go through this. What gun would you choose in 1880 if you had your choice of anything available then? If you were going to go back to Dodge City, what would you pick? And so on. These are, for us who are historical firearms buffs, these are the kinds of things that we discuss or that think about, and it's the same with swords. So, I'm going to give you my answer to what sort of sword would you wear on pilgrimage or visiting trade fairs or whatever you're doing as a temporal tourist in the Middle Ages. And I'm going to have some fun with that, and I hope that you do too, because I always hope that. Okay, so that's like our limited sword thing. I'll probably do one other sword video this year. I've pre-ordered a sword. My friend Matt Easton has worked with the Royal Armory and with Windlass to design a line of swords that are exact replicas of swords in the Royal Armory. And I've got one of those coming, and coincidentally, it is the same general type as the one I would choose as a temporal traveler, but it's a bigger version of this, and I think more suitable as a knightly sword than as a traveler's sword. Now I'll talk about that when it comes up. So those are likely to be my only 2 sword videos this year, and yeah, hopefully they'll be more history, mental exercise lessons than they are sword videos. So I hope you'll still like them. And finally, this winter I expect to finish off the York County rifle. It's just a matter of getting it done. I'm going to try to put aside a little bit of time, get it done, and maybe get it out and shoot it this winter, if not certainly this spring. I know a lot of you have been urging me to finish that rifle, and I'm going to do my best. So those are the things content-wise that you can expect to see in the next few months. I mentioned my new and improved website a little while ago. I hope that you guys will get out there and check it out because there's a lot of content, and if you've not been out there, I think you find many things that you enjoy. If you're a black powder, muzzleloader, cap and ball revolver fan, you'll find it out there. Even historical 20th century weapons, some double rifle stuff, a lot of different stuff out there. So by all means, go and check it out. And while you're there, you might check out the merchandise store. It'll drop you a link into Teespring. And we have a new shirt out there. And it's one that I'm kind of interested in. I have personally ordered 4 of these myself, but I don't have them yet because it's a brand new design. And basically, I call this the superhero logo design. And here's a picture of it. And you can see it's a big duelist end chest logo. You know, just the way you'd find it on your favorite superhero's jersey. And I think it's kind of a classy looking shirt. So go out there and check it out. Maybe buy one. That's how I pay for the website. And I hope you enjoy it. Check out the rest of the stuff on the store. I think there's some good stuff out there, but I am a little bit prejudiced, I'll admit that. Well, that's all from me for now. I hope you're able to get out there and make some smoke before it gets too cold and snowy. So I'll see you back here next week. Until then, bye.